Hello student, this is a sample paper which is based on the CBSE sample paper. In this section A, we have 18 questions of each 1 marks. Question number 1 is saying state true or false. When a continuous statement is executed within a loop, it terminates the entire loop and continues with the next statement after the loop. Now, it is saying continuous statement is executed within a loop, terminates the entire loop. Now, here is the entirely false statement. Okay. And you can easily understand the word is continue. So it is not about terminating the loop. So it continue, it skips the remaining portion of the loop and then it continues from the next iteration. Okay. So obviously, very simple answer of this one is, and very obvious one is the false. Okay, so false is the answer. Next one in SQL, which constraint allows a column to contain null values, but ensures that if it contains a value, it must be unique. Now see, it allows null values. So you can provide null values. And if it contains a value, it must be unique. If you look at the option primary key is the one which does not allow null values. So obviously this option is not correct. And values must be unique. So, but it does not fulfill the first one. So distinct means all the values, and there is no such constraint as distinct rather. And not null does not allow null values. So it is saying, so the option is unique. So unique is the correct answer of this one. Next one, what will be the output of the following statement? Now we have a print this statement, and I am showing it here how this thing is giving you the answer. So see, whenever we are doing, so we are follow very simple Bodmas rule. So you are getting here, if you see, first we are going to do the exponent. So which is, so here we can do 7 into 3 plus the exponent 4 to the power 2. That means it is 16 to the power 2 minus 15 floor division 4. Now in the next line you see this is 7 into 3 is 21, and here 16 divided by 2. Remember this division will include the decimal point also. So it is 8.0, and here it is floor division without integral part and decimal part. So 4 3s are 12. So it is 3 point something. So we will write this only as 3. Okay. So here we are getting this is 28, 21 plus 8 is 29.0 minus 3, which will come to 26.0. So I'm running this code for you. So you can see the answer is 26.0. So the output is, you can see the output here is, the correct answer is 26.0, and the working is here, which I'm showing here. Working is this. Okay. Now the next one is saying select the correct output of the following code. S, I love programming. Then L is S dot split. Then S new, which is underscore dot join L0, L1 dot upper L2. Now let's try to understand this output here in the ID. I'm pasting it. So split is basically what doing? It is making these 3 words separate. So basically in this, you are getting this entire thing in separately, you are getting here. So this will be I, this is love and programming. So this is the task of split. Now after this, here what is doing? So split is dividing all these words and put it in a list. Then what we are getting is this hyphen join L0. L0 is I. So obviously I will be there, followed by an hyphen. Then L1 dot upper. So this entire thing will be love in capital. And then we are having again a hyphen because this is to join is using this delimiter. And then L2, which is obviously is the programming. So programming will be here. Okay, so this is the new one. So I love programming. So let us run first and see whether this as new is printing the same. Yes, I love programming. So here you see the option which is there. I love programming. This is the option E, which is the easiest one to understand. Now the fifth one is saying MySQL database, if a table employee has 5 columns and 100 rows, and another table department has 3 columns and 50 rows. So one table has 5 columns, other has 100 rows. Same table has 100 rows. Department table has 3 columns and 50 rows. What will be the degree and cardinality of the Cartesian product of employee and department? So a little bit, just if we go for the uh, degree of Cartesian product of, or sometimes we call say cross join of A and B, is basically the degree of A plus the degree of B. Degree of B. And similarly, when we come to the cardinality of cross join of A and B is basically the cardinality of A multiplied by cardinality of B. So here you can see in this case, employee degree is 5 and department degree is 3. So the degree will be the sum of the degrees, which is 3 plus 5, which is equal to 8. And equal to 8. And your cardinality will be product of the rows. Okay. So it's simply sum of the columns. Sum of the columns. And this one is equal to product of the column, which is 100 into 50. 100 into 50, which is equal to 5,000. Equal to 5,000. So basically it is the product of the cardinalities. Okay, so this is the answer. So here we look at the correct answer, which is in this case is where this is the B. B is the correct answer. Here also many students have done incorrectly by multiplying these two values even 5 into 3. So that is also done. So you have to see, you have to add the columns and you have to do the product of the rows. All right. I think this is the simple thing. Still I'm writing its, I'm copying its, whatever the explanation is there. So you should not do the same kind of mistakes in the next exam. Next is Sumit wants to connect his desktop computer to the other computer in his office. He uses a switch to connect all the computers to the same network cable. What type of network is formed in this case? Now see, it is quite simple. Uh, See, it is the key to this answer is to other computers in his office. So basically, office means not a very simple, single room. It can be, office can have multiple rooms. So, but it is within an enclosed boundary. So it is an example of LAN. Okay. So it, if you have thought it as PAN, PAN is basically within a very short region and between the devices. Okay. Like mobile phone to computer when you transfer, that is. And PAN is within the city and WAN across the city and country. So this is an example of LAN. Next one is, which of the following will delete the key value pair of the key green from the dictionary D? Now see, if you have to, this is a dictionary, and you have to remove the uh, key value pair green 20. So see, there is a function known as pop. In case of dictionary, it removes the given key passed to the pop method. So if I'm writing x and d1 dot pop, and I'm writing here as green, and if I print the value of x and print the d1, so you see, if I run it, what I'm getting here, it's not taking this symbol here. So let me see if I can change this symbol. So this is to be replaced with this symbol. So let me do change for all. And one more I need to do is this one. So this one is to be again replaced by this symbol. Okay. Now it should work. Okay, let me run it. So you see 20, it has returned the value and it has removed this key value pair. So this is the method. See, they have also given about all del. So if you want to use the del in place, so del does not return a value. For del, if you want to do, so you have to write del d1 and within bracket you have to give the key, which is green. So let's see, we run this one. You see here, it has removed it. So we have two options. Option one is this, and the other option which we have seen is d1 dot pop green. Okay. So these are the two options which are going to do, but let's see. So we can see there's a del 20 is given. Delete is not there. Del 20 is incorrect because we need to pass the key here. Okay. Key is here. Key green. It's not the this one. This one is possible, and even pop 20, there is no such key as 20. Remember, the first one is key, second one is a value. So the correct answer is C. Now we come to the question number 8. Now question number 8 is asking you what is the output of the following. So once again, please see it here. So here we are having T1 2:4. So 2:4 basically means from the second index to the fourth index, but excluding the fourth index. That means 2 and 3. So it says 0, this is 1. Then 2 and 3 is this one. So our output should have hello 22. Okay. So if we go here and we check here hello 22. So this is the correct answer of this. Okay. So I hope this one is very straightforward. Now this particular one, question number 9. So many of the students got confused by seeing this particular one, thinking firstly that this is a tuple and sort operation or sort method is not applicable. But you have to see very carefully, it is not a tuple, but it is a list because this is the third bracket. Now sorting means whenever a list is there, it sorts the value by default in ascending order. So it is going to arrange it, but it will look for the values which are present. So it will, in this case, it is sorting based on the first value. So 36. So this one is the first, followed by this, and then 88. If you look at the code here, so we are getting a 3666. So this seems to be the correct answer. So if you want to check it, so let us run it. So I think this is there now. So this should be the answer. So you have to see it very carefully that It is not a tuple, but it is a list. It is a nested list in which list consists of the tuple. Okay. Next one is this. Identify the output of this one. So let's first understand what is the output of this one. See, the very first thing which we have to understand, the syntax of insert. So insert method has two parameters. First one is the index, second one is the value. So in this case, what it happens is that at the third index, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, at the place of 25th, we will put the value of 4. So we have 10, 15, 20, then 4, then 25, then 30. Now, again, we have an index of 2. 2 index means 0, 1, 2, this index. So let me copy this one. So here in the second index, 0, 1, 2, this index, we are putting the value of the 3. Placing the value 3, obviously rest of the value will be shifted. Now here it is saying print -5. So it is a single index, so it will give you the value at -5. So this is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So this value will be 3. Okay, 3. Because 3 is at -5. So to verify, let me run this one. So it is 3. I hope you understood. So this is the working of this one. So the correct answer is 3. And the explanation is this one is this. All right. So let's move to the next one. What is bridge used for? So this was also a question where many of you have done it incorrectly. To connect multiple devices to the same network. No, it's not basically to connect multiple devices, but to connect multiple networks. To route the traffic between the different networks. No, this is not the job, it is the router's jobs. Filtered traffic. Now, this one many have thought is the correct answer. But its primary job of the bridge is not to filter the traffic, but basically we use the bridge for the primary purpose of connecting two networks of the same type. Okay. So to connect the network of the same type, we need a device which is known as bridge. And in this process, while connecting the networks of same type, bridge also ensure that the network traffic meant for one side should not go to the other side. So it also performs the task of filtering the traffic, but its primary purpose is to connect two similar type of networks or LANs, specifically for LANs. Now question number 12. Okay, so this is a function and we need to find the output of this function. So I'm writing it here and then we are. So the very first thing which you need to see it here, this function, when we are calling the function, the value, these are the keyword parameters. So a value is given as 5. So in the function, you are getting a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 4. Remember here default values are given, but you are passing the values. So default values will be overridden by this value. So a will be 5, b value will be 4. And the next line, what it is saying, a is equal to a plus b, which means 5 plus 4 is equal to 9. Then the next thing is the b is equal to b plus equal to 1 plus equal to 1, which means b plus b is equal to, which implies b is equal to b plus 1, which actually means b is equal to 4 plus 1, which is equal to 5. Now it is printing a and b. So a value is 9 and b value is 5. Right? So 9 and 5. So you can see it is 9 and 5. So the correct answer is A. Okay. State whether the following statement is true or false. A type error occurs when the code tries to access a variable or function that has not been defined. See, uh, when you try to access a variable or function which is not defined, it is not basically a type error. So the error is known as the name error. So for example, you are writing here uh, b equal to 20 and you're writing c is equal to a plus b. At this stage, you have not defined a. Okay. So if you try to do this operation, you are going to get a name error. Okay. So name error happens when you use a variable which you have not defined. So in this case, uh, the statement saying a type error occurs, which is obviously not true. It is false. Now the next one is, which of the following is not a DML statement? So here also there was a confusion. See, DML and DDL. DDL statement, remember, just I'm telling you, we have DDL statement are three statements, three SQL commands are there: create, alter, and drop. And DML statements are rather four here: insert, date, delete, and select. It is saying which is not a DML statement. So select, delete, update are all DML statements. So the drop is a DDL statement. Now, fill in the blanks. In case of dash switching, entire messages are stored and forwarded by intermediate nodes in the network. Now, see, we have basically three types of switching are there. Three types of switching techniques are there. First one is circuit switching. Second one is message switching. And third one is packet switching. Now, remember the circuit switching is similar to, in one line I tell you, it's like a uh, making a phone call, okay? Making a phone. So why, like when we make a phone call, we need a dedicated path, okay? So it does not the entire, so it's good for voice because we do not need to interrupt or we want this, our voice to be continued or continuously transferred to the other end. Message switching is like sending SMS. Sending SMS does not require the other person to be there always. We can get SMS once we are online or when our device is on, and it divides a bigger message into fixed length packets. Okay. So in case of message switching, what happened? Till the time messages are not sent, the entire message is stored in the intermediate nodes. So the answer here of this portion will be message switching. Okay. This is known as the message switching, where the entire message are stored and formatted by the intermediate nodes in the network. Right. Next, what is the purpose of tell method in Python? So you know the tell method in Python basically tell the current position of the file pointer. So reading, writing, and to moving is not correct answer. The correct answer to return the current position of the file pointer. Next question is question number 17 and 18 are assertion and reasoning based. Both A and R are correct. R is the correct explanation. R is not the correct explanation. A true, R false, A false, R true. Assertion is that dictionaries are mutable, hence keys are modified. Now this partly it is true, but this entire is not true because keys cannot be modified. By rule, keys must be mutable. Okay, so the rule is that keys must be mutable. That is the first thing. So obviously this is a false statement. Mutability means a value can be changed in place without having to create a new storage for the change value. Obviously this statement is true. So we can see for this one, our A is false but R is true. The correct answer in this case will be the option B. Okay, so this is the option. Uh, okay, so this here we come to the, I think there is one of the questions we need to do. Question number 17 and 18 are assertion and reasoning based questions. And for each one of them, there are four options given. A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Both A and R are true. R is not the correct explanation. A is true, but R is false. A is false, but R is true. Now, it is saying that dictionaries are mutable, hence its keys can be modified. Now, here is the problem. You cannot modify the keys of the dictionary. Okay. So, this is the false statement. Mutability means a value can be changed in place without having to create a new storage for the change value. Yes, this is correct. So seeing this thing, the A is false and B is R is true. We have this is the, so the correct answer is the D is the option for this. Now the next one is saying Python standard library consists of various modules. Yes, it is true. A function in a module is used to make the code more complex. Okay, now this is something which is not true. A function role is to make the codes, to simplify the code, make it simpler. So obviously your R is incorrect, your reasoning is false. So, but A is true, so it is the C. C is the correct answer for this one. This is what we have got. Now we are coming to the section B. Now in section B, also we have found many of the answers. People were not able to give answers. So for this one, first one is SMTP. SMTP is basically is a protocol for transferring the mails. So for sending the mail, so it is a simple mail transfer protocol. Okay, and XML. See, you have heard about HTML. XML is also a language, but unlike HTML, it is not simply for formatting and hyperlinking, but for storing the data. So you can store the data in different, in a structured way using the in XML. This X stands for extensible markup language. Okay, so you must understand this is basically uh, extensible markup language is used for storing and transporting the data. Now this is the one where many of you have done rather got confused. See, it's a very simple. There's a guided transmission media, and you have unguided guided transmission media. Now, obviously, guided transmission media means it is following a guide. Okay, a guide is there. So obviously, in case of wire media, this is basically known by the name, which is the guided transmission medium. So here the guided transmission media are two. One is the coaxial twisted pair cable, and second is the optical fiber. So these two are the guided transmission media. For unguided, obviously there is no fixed path, which is the satellite. Okay, and obviously second is the again is the infrared waves. For simply you understand, whenever we are saying guided, we basically mean the wired. Guided means wired transmission media, and unguided means wireless transmission media. So I hope in other coming exams you will not do the same mistake again. Now we have a code and we have to correct and removing all the syntax and logical error for this code. So let me put the code here first. Okay, let me read any other instruction. See, uh, the code given below accepts a number as an argument and it returns the count of digits of the number. Observe the following code carefully and rewrite and removing all the syntax and logical error. Okay, so let me make it a little bigger. So here we come. See, it returns the count of the digits. So if you come to here, you see this one. Def is obviously is not like this. It's in a small letter def. So our first error is this one. Okay, so error one is here. Now count zero is okay. Again, see while is a keyword. You can in Python is case sensitive. So this while will be small letter. So here it will be error two. Now number divided by 10. See, our purpose of division is basically to remove the last digit. But this division, when you are dividing by this dividing operator, we get the decimal. So basically, we need here flow division. So it should be like this. So this is the error 3. Now, obviously, we have to get a count of it. So obviously, doing a subtraction will reduce the count. We need the count. So we have to increase. So this is error 4. So basically, there are two logical error. So this is a logical error, and this is the and this one is again a logical error, and this two is obviously spelling incorrect. So this is a syntax error, right? So this is the correct code of this one. So the corrected code is this one, and you are expected to highlight those areas where you have done the correction. And students sometimes don't take don't pay attention rather, so which is not a right thing. So here also we need this division, and here also we need to do the addition. So basically anytime this type of 2 marks question comes, so you can think there are 4 errors. Now write a function count words length that takes a list of words and a length as argument and display the words with a length less than or equal to the specified length. Okay. So here the words are given and length is 5. So it is saying the display the word which is length is less than or equal to the specified, less than 5 or equal to 5. So apple is 5. So it is there. Banana is obviously more. Grape is again you see it is 5. So I think there's an error in this case. So let it correct. But it is very direct in the question itself. It is what it has said. And kiwi is again lesser than 5. So what we do is that we are going to write the code for this one. Our function name is this one. And I will point out what mistakes you have done here. So in this case, this is a function def followed by colon. And now it's a very simple one. The word is basically a list. So we have to read each of the word. So word in words. Okay. And now if the length of each word is lesser than equal to the length, okay, then what it is saying is that you have to list and display the word. Okay, so simply displaying is print the word. Okay, this much. Here also, many students have tried to take the input inside the function. which is incorrect. You should not take the input inside the function. And let's see, I'm taking the same which is given in the question. So we have this 2. I'm putting it here. So this is here, and this length is here. Okay. And obviously now I need to call the function count words, and this words and length I'm passing to the function. Now if I run this code, so let's see what output I'm getting. So this is what I expected. So this is the correct. So it's a very simple thing. Remember, you these two parameters function, the sole purpose of the function is to accept the input and to provide the result. So if in case it is not very much, it is specified that you have to take the input in the program, then you take, otherwise you to take the input from outside and you have to pass this to the function. Okay. So this was the answer code of this one, and its output is we are getting here output which is this 3. Yeah, I think we can copy from here also. This is the output. Okay. Next one is predict the output of the following. So let me discuss here in the ID. So anymore is the no, this much. So so before we see this one, you see there's a T code, there is a list 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is what dictionary. This is the dictionary. But J in range len of T. So one thing you should understand, what is the len of T? Len of T is basically how many characters in a T, which is 4. So range of 4 is basically means 0, 1, 2, 3. Right. Now this is the values are there. Now for every value, if it is divisible, no, but divided by 2 is equal to 1. If it is not divisible, that means, okay. So if it is an odd number, okay, very simple. So what we can see it here, if we see the value of J is equal to 0, value is equal to 1, equal to 1, J is equal to 2, J is equal to 3. So these are the values. So if it is 0, that means if it is a even, then what you have to do, n m dot pop. So n is the empty dictionary. So in this dictionary, I have to give the value of m dot pop. Pop means this pop will always remove the last value, which is 4 in this case, and which is equal to j plus 3. J plus 3, which is 0 plus 3, which is equal to 3. All right. In the next case, we have n is again 1 is this time it is satisfying because j mod 2, 1 divided by 2 is 1. So in case of m, so it has already removed. So next pop will remove the 3, and here is equal to tj. Tj means T1. So T1 is equal to CO. So this is the word letter O. Next one is even. So again it will remove the last value, which is 2. And this time it will be again J plus 3, which plus 3, which is equal to 2 plus 3, which is equal to 5. Finally, the last value will be popped. So simply it is popping one by one the value which is as key. So the last value popped will be 1. And obviously this is odd. So it will be T of 3, which is in this case is the 3 is 0, 1, 2, 3, E. So letter E. Now up to this much, many of you have done, but again there was a confusion how to write the answer. Now remember this n dot items. is basically returning a tuple consists of key and value pair. So we have already got here, ultimately here what we have got, n is equal to something like this. We have got 4, 3, 3, 4, then we have 2 colon 5 and 1 colon e. This is what. So when we read each of the item, this as key value pair in the form of a tuple, but it is now separated in two variables. So obviously, and there is a separator in between which is hash. So the output value will be 4 hash 3, 3 hash 4, then 2 hash 5, and 1 hash e. So this is the final output. Okay. The final output is also very important. Sometimes you uh, write the working, but you do not write the final output. So let's run for once to check whether we are getting the this entire thing. Okay. So uh, I think there is some syntax error is there in line 6. Oh, I think this is okay. Let me remove this part. Is it? Yeah. This is here. I think we need to skip this thing here, shift this also. I hope now it should. Oh, there is in line number 28. So there is one more is there. So you can see the output is same what we have done just now, or we have found just now. So this is the working, and this is how we have got the output. This is the output for this particular. Now the next one is write a Python method for each of the following tasks to remove the value present at the third index of list L1. Now, here also there was a lot of confusion. See, you just have to tell the method. So it's a very simple. To remove the value at the third index, let's see, you have a list with the value 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2. Now, if you want to remove the third index is 0, 1, 2, 3, this 8 value. So the best way is to do the pop, and you have to give the index which is 3. Now, if you want to print the L thereafter, what you will find out, the value at the third index, which is 8, is no more there. This is one. One more method which you can do is that del method, but obviously del is not a method. It is a kind of an operator which you can use for even tuple. So that time you will write it here, the third index L3. So it will also give you the same result. So any one of the results you can use it, either this or this. Okay. But obviously this is the most appropriate one which you have to do that. So this is the first one. Now if you go for the second one also many of you have found very difficult to check whether a string starts with a capital letter or not. And there are very simple ways. Rather, there are here also two methods are there. So let's see. Str is equal to welcome. Now we have to check whether this is starting with the capital letter. So first is str dot capitalize. Okay. Now capitalize method basically capitalize it. So it is not the method which is there. So the first method is title. Okay. Is title method, if you do it, it checks whether it starts with the, because a single word, it start the first letter starts with the uppercase or not. This is true. Now the next is the, let's see, is capitalize. Capitalize. Let's see this method. I doubt, I don't think this method is there, but I'm trying it. No, this is actually capitalize, turn, return it, so it doesn't there. Yeah, one more thing which many of the students have done, which can be considered also, but again, str0 is upper. Is upper is also a way by which you can check whether it is uppercase, the first letter is uppercase or not, which is also. So you can use any of the method to check the uppercase or not. So either this and this, I think this one is easier, so which you can do it. So this is the 23. Now the next one is John is working in a database named customer, in which he has created a table named customer containing columns customer ID, customer name, email address, and phone number. After creating the table, he realized that attribute email address has to be deleted from the table and a new attribute country of data type string has to be added. This attribute country cannot be left blank. Help John write SQL command to complete the task. The first thing is to remove the email address. Okay. Let me show you the idea how it is working here. So let me do this thing. We are writing here create table customers. Okay, and let's see, this is just I'm writing int, this is at 30, and this is let's see the next line. This is also somewhere here 30, and phone number is again, let's see, it's care 10. Okay, and this, let's see the table is created or not. So if we look at the table description, the table is created. Now the thing which we need to do is to remove the email address. So for removing the email address, what we need to do is that we have to write uh, alter table. Many of you have not written the word this table thing, customers, and then drop column is up to it's optional. So what if you write, you can write drop column, and this column is this time is the email address. Okay, so thereafter if you write the again customers, so you're going to see that this column is now no more. You can see here we have three: customer ID, cust ID, and phone number. So the answer of the first one is this one. So it has two. So we are writing the answer. So the first one is this one. Okay, alter table. You can write into separate line also. And in the second one, again, there was a confusion. Many of the students didn't write this first line again. No, when you want to add this thing, add the column here, country, uh, which is to be not null, you have to rewrite again this alter table customers. So what you will be writing it here, this is again require alter table customers, and then you will write add column is optional, but it's better if you write add column city. Okay, I think it's a city. No, it's a country. Country, country, and let's see. This is where some 30 and not none. Now, obviously, it's good practice to put a semicolon here, and then again we are seeing that describe customer. So if we run this one, so you can see this country is added here. So the next command to add the column is this one. So part 2 is, okay, I hope you have understood this one. So delete is not the command. Many of you have written delete column, which is not, it's the drop column. Now we come to the last question of this one, which is of the section B. So predict the output of this one. So what is the output? This one. So we'll try to first see what is. So we see, always remember function is uh, non-executable statement. Function statement is not directly executable. You have to call the function to execute it. So we have the value of a is equal to 200 and b is equal to 20. Now here when you call this function a is equal to increment of a, which is p, which is equal to value of a, which is 200, and q, which is in this case is equal to ab, that means 20. Okay. So a takes the value of 200, b takes the value of 20. So we are getting in p 220. Now see what it is saying. P is equal to p plus q, which is equal to 200 plus 20, which is 220. Then q is equal to p minus q, which is 220 minus q value, which is 20. Uh, p q is equal to p, which is 220 minus q, which is 20. So we are getting here 200, and it is saying return p, which is equal to 220. So here the value of a is, when you're returning, so it is 220, and the value of b remains 20. So it is printing with the dollar in between, 220 dollar 20. Next case, you have b equal to increment. This time your value of b will be equal to the value of b. So obviously b value is here equal to 20. Okay. And remember the p value is equal to 20 and the second is not given. So q value is equal to 10. Okay. So we are getting the value of p, which is equal to the value of, here we are getting this value is equal to, okay, we got here 220, q is 200. Okay, so q is 200, but q is the value of b, so it remains 20 only. P value is there. So when you are passing the value, so b value is 20 and q is 10. So we are doing here p equal to p plus q. P is equal to p plus q, which is 20 plus 10 equal to 30. And then q equal to e minus q, which is equal to p value is 30 minus 10 equal to 20. And finally, it is returning the p. So it is return the value of p, which is equal to 30. Now, here, this value is stored in b. So our a value is not changed. So a is still 220 and b is equal to 30. So it will print $220 30. This is the output. So we have two lines of outputs are there in this case. One is this line. So our final output is this one. And the next line of output is this one. These other two lines of output. Okay. So let me see. One. So let me run it and see whether we are getting this output. Yes, there is one more thing which I didn't notice. It's the end with followed by the 3. So after printing here, there is by default it go to the next line. But here after printing, it is going to print the 3 hash. Here also there were confusion there. Most of the answers were not correct. So I hope after understanding this one, I think you have understood how to uh, solve this kind of output questions. Okay, so this is the final output along with the final output. So this is the initial working of the code. So this is the working, and remember you should always write the uh, final output separately. So here we come to the end of the section B.